close your eyes for just a second. Actually, do it. Close them. And ask yourself this. When was the last time you did something as an entrepreneur that was genuinely, purely, unapologetically for you? Not for a client, not for a deadline, not because the algorithm was hungry or the content calendar said so, or someone in a Facebook group told you this was the thing you absolutely had to be doing right now. For you. If the answer came quickly and easily, that's wonderful. You're probably further along on this trail than you realize. But if the answer took a minute, if it made you a little uncomfortable, if you found yourself thinking, well, everything I do for my business is technically for me in some way, then you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I am so glad that you are here. Welcome to Come Back to Yourself. My name is Lisa, and before we go anywhere on this expedition together, I want to take a few minutes to tell you who I am, what this is, and why I built it. Because I think context matters, and because I think you deserve to know exactly whose voice is going to be in your ears for the next 12 episodes before you decide whether to trust it. I am a narrative strategist. Now that's a title that sounds impressive and slightly mysterious and occasionally makes people at networking events tilt their head at me and say, so what does that actually mean? So what it means is this. I help entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, creatives, and teams find the story they're actually living, the one underneath the one they think they're telling, and we use that story to build something more meaningful, more marketable, and more genuinely theirs than anything they could construct from the outside in. I work at the intersection of identity, narrative, and professional development, which means the questions that I ask are less, what's your elevator pitch? And more, who are you when you're not performing for anybody? And then we figure out how to build a business from that answer rather than around it. I have been doing this work for a long time, long enough to have made most of the mistakes available on this particular trail, long enough to know with real certainty rather than borrowed confidence that the entrepreneurs who build something lasting are almost never the ones with the most polished brand or the most sophisticated strategy. They are the ones who know themselves deeply, honestly, without apology. And that knowing, that specific, hard-won, irreplaceable self-knowledge is what everything I do is designed to cultivate. Now, a quick word about how I work, because this is going to matter for how you experience what's ahead. Every month, I host a live audio series. Each one is completely different from the last, different theme, different tone, different territory entirely. Last December, we unwrapped the 12 gifts of business because entrepreneurship does gift you with certain rewards, even when it doesn't feel that way. Then in January, we put on our trench coats and solved minor business offenses in the Brand Crimes Unit, a noir-inspired, unexpectedly useful, and occasionally hilarious series. Then February, we celebrated Valentine's Day by flirting with failure, reigniting the love we felt for our work back when everything was still possible and nothing was yet complicated. And then in March, we got honest in money madness and mindset, reframing our relationship with worth, value, and the deeply uncomfortable act of charging what we actually deserve. Now, each series lives in its own world. Each one has its own personality. None of them sound like a webinar. None of them feel like a course. They feel like a conversation, a real one, between someone who has walked the terrain and someone who is ready to walk it too. This one, Come Back to Yourself, is perhaps the most personal series that I've built yet, because this one is about the thing that lives underneath all the branding and all the strategy and all the professional development in the world. It's actually about you, the real you, the one who started this whole crazy thing for a reason that felt urgent and true and completely yours, and who may have drifted somewhere along the way from the thread that connected you to that original reason. This expedition is how you find that thread again. So here is what you can expect over the next 12 episodes. Each one runs about 10 minutes because I respect your time and because I've found that 10 minutes of the right kind of focused, intentional content does more interior work than an hour of information delivered at you from a slide deck. Each episode follows a trail, building on what came before, taking you somewhere specific, leaving you with something concrete to carry forward. And each episode ends with fieldwork, which brings me to something that I need you to do right now if you haven't already. Download the Field Notes Journal. It is included with your series, and it's not optional. Or rather, it's optional the way having a map on an expedition is optional. Technically, you can manage without it. Practically, though, you're going to want it. The Field Notes Journal contains every exercise from every episode, every scavenger hunt, and the space to actually do the work rather than just think about doing it. Because here's the thing I want to be clear about from the very beginning of our time together. This is not a passive experience. This is not something you listen to while you're folding laundry and half thinking about your content calendar. Well, you can listen to it while folding laundry. I can't stop you, of course. But I'd gently suggest that the laundry can wait. This is something, though, that you participate in, something that you bring yourself to, your actual self, not your professional self, not your brand self, not the version of you that has a well-crafted answer ready for every question. The unguarded, honest, occasionally uncomfortable version. Because that's who this expedition was built for. And that's who's going to actually get the most from it. I want to tell you about something that is waiting for you at the very end of this journey. In the final episode, our celebration or outro, there's a special offer waiting for everyone who makes it all the way to the end. I'm not going to tell you about it right now, partly because good things are worth waiting for, and partly because I enjoy a well-placed tease. But what I will tell you is this. It is the next leg of the expedition for the people who finish this series and find themselves thinking, I want to go deeper. I want to take what I've found on this trail and build something from it. Something real, something that connects who I actually am to how my business actually represents me. And it will be available to you, those who make it all the way through, at a rate that makes the decision about whether to continue the journey considerably easier. So that's all I'll say for now, except make it all the way to the end. It is worth it. One more thing before we set out. This is supposed to be enjoyable. And I know that sounds almost revolutionary in the context of professional development, which is, as a category, not exactly renowned for its joy. Professional development tends to be the thing we do because we should. The webinar we attend because someone said it would be good for our business. The course we buy because the content looked useful. The training that we sit through because the industry requires it. But this is not that. This is something you chose because something in you recognized the need for it. Because the title, Come Back to Yourself, landed somewhere specific and real and said, yes, that's the thing. That's what I've been missing. So honor that recognition. This series is designed to be lived, not just consumed. To be felt and not just understood. To be enjoyed genuinely with the specific pleasure of doing something that is both meaningful and entirely for you at every single step of the trail. You are allowed to love this. You are also allowed to look forward to each episode, to do the field work with genuine curiosity rather than dutiful obligation, to find yourself laughing unexpectedly in episode 12, or going quiet unexpectedly in episode 9, or feeling something shift in your chest somewhere around episode 6 in a way that you weren't prepared for, but that feels somehow exactly right. That is the experience that this expedition is built to create. And it begins right now. So episode 1 is called The Last Known Location. And it starts with a question that I think you're ready for. When was the last time you made a decision in your business that came entirely unfiltered, unmediated, unmistakably from you? I will see you on the trail.